welcome to my kitchen. It is a lovely fall day today, and so I am going to be working on some potato soup. Join me. I've got 6 pieces of bacon chopped up into about little 1/2-inch squares. I'm going to get these on to cooking down in my pan here. Hi, buddy.
What is this?
I'm making food for tonight.
Bacon or turkey or?
This is regular bacon. I'm doing it for the potatoes tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got my bacon cooking down. We are going to get our potatoes ready to dice up. I've peeled up 10 large potatoes. You can use a potato of your choice, reds, Yukons, those little mixed potatoes, whatever you have on hand. I'm just going to dice them up in little cube-sized pieces here, and then we're going to get them all rinsed really well. My bacon is almost ready, so I'm going to dice up some onion and garlic. And as soon as my bacon gets done cooking, I will pull it out of the pan, and I'll leave the grease in the pan because I want to saute my onion and garlic in the bacon grease for just a few minutes. This diced up here real quick. Now you can leave your pieces as big or as small as you want. Although I know some people do not like onions. I'm going to leave them a little bit chunky. Okay, I'm going to shove those to the side. I'm going to grab some of my garlic here. I'm so glad I grow garlic every year. Then I dry it so we have garlic on hand. I also do garlic oil. I have a video where I make my garlic oil. Let me peel the skin off real quick. You can use as much garlic or as little garlic as you want. I don't really have measurements for this recipe. Just add more if there's going to be more people around and less if there's less people. If you've been watching me for any time at all, you know I very rarely measure. Okay, I'm going to give this garlic just a quick rinse here. And then chop it as well. I could have used my garlic press probably. That's okay. It's going to cook down and release that fragrant, delicious smell. All right, got my garlic and my onion ready. I'm going to pull my bacon out here. I don't want it cooked all the way. I just want it crisped up a little bit and for it to release some of its fat. All right, I've got the bacon out. Now in go my onions and garlic. I'm going to let this saute for just a few minutes. These onions are getting nice and caramelized here. And the garlic, it just smells so amazing. Okay, I'm going to take my potatoes. I have cubed them up and I've washed them. So now they're going right in here for just a few minutes. Kind of move them around a little bit so they can get some of that bacon grease and the onions and garlic all mixed in with it. All right, I'm going to let this cook for about 5 minutes. I have been stirring my potatoes just so they don't stick to the bottom and the onions don't stick. You just want to get them, they're going to be covered in that bacon grease and onion and garlic. I'm going to take about a teaspoon of butter here. There we go. And put right in there. Now remember, this is the winter. We're hibernating, so yes, this is going to be delicious and a little bit fattening. We're going to let that butter melt. Just let it melt in really good here. Now that our butter has melted down in, I am going to take about 1/4 cup of flour and just put that right in there. Now we're going to mix this up. We're only going to cook this for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes to get all the flour so it doesn't have that raw flour taste. So just mix it in with your potatoes really well. Don't let anything stick. It's going to work sort of like a roux in your potato soup here. Alright, now that my potatoes have cooked, I just turned the stove off. I just let it cook for a few minutes and kept stirring it until all the flour didn't look like raw flour anymore. So now I'm going to grab my crock pot insert and I'm going to take my potatoes, onions, garlic, and just put them down in my crock pot here. Just scrape anything out that may have stuck to the bottom of your pan. Alright. Now I've got a jar of my chicken stock that I canned down this summer. I'm going to add this right in over top. Give that a little mix. And I'm going to take a little milk, about maybe a cup of milk. Just pour that in there. You don't want it just a whole ton of liquid, but you do want your potatoes to be covered so nothing's poking up above. Alright, I'm going to take my bacon, stick that in there, a little paprika, just a dash, 1/2 teaspoon, black pepper, measure with your heart, same way with salt. If you don't like a lot of salt, don't use a lot of salt. If you like a lot of salt, you can. Now I'm going to give this a mix. Alright, this is ready. I'm going to put my lid on, put it in my crock pot, and I will let this bake for 4 hours on high. Okay, I've got my insert set inside of my crock pot, and I've got it set on high. Just give it one last little stir. Lid on, and I will leave this to cook for the next 4 hours. We'll be back. Whoa, that fogged up. Sorry. I've had this soup cooking we're coming up right on 4 hours. So what I am going to do now is I took a little bit of Velveeta cheese, not a whole lot, and I just cut it up here. Let's see if I can get it in there. Cut it up so it can melt a little easier. And now I'm going to take, that was about 1/4 cup of Velveeta cheese. I'm just going to take a little splash of heavy whipping cream, put that in there. Give this a good little mix here. Let that cheese melt in, and we will be ready to serve. See if I can, there we go. Get my lens to unfold. See, we just want that cheese to melt in there. Okay, I'm going to put the lid back on and just give it a few more minutes for all that cheesy goodness to melt. I'll turn it down on low. Here's the potato soup all ready to go. as my son requested, the goldfish crackers with it. You can see the bacon in there, the potatoes. Now for my and my husband's bowl, I'm going to chop up some green onion to put on top. But it's ready to eat. Thanks for joining me today, and happy cooking!